So I grew up in Wichita, Kansas, left there in 1997. I was engaged to my wife, Alicia, at the time. And when you marry the farmer's daughter, you marry the farm. So we moved out here to Hayes in 1997. And all my friends in Wichita thought it was a pretty staggering move to come out here. But since we've made it home, it's full of wonderful people, a great place to raise children. I'm a nurse by trade and also an Army reservist. I've worked ER at Russell for the last 10 years and have been a nurse for almost 20 now. Currently I serve our United States Army Reserve unit in Topeka, Kansas. And I have two children, Garrett and Audrey. Garrett's a freshman at Fort Hays State University, and my daughter's a junior at Hays High. When my wife and I first discussed it, Alicia said, "Are you sure this is something you want to do? That sounds like a really big headache." And I thought, yeah, it does, but I've been a company commander before. I've been in various leaderships with the military, and have had some challenging roles put upon me that I think I did fairly well at. So I think I may be up to the challenge for this. It's going to be, of course, in a different sector with a lot of moving parts, but listening to the right people and hopefully those who came before me offering sage advice, we can make good things happen for the City of Hays. In the microcosm of one's neighborhood, you see as far as the house at the end of the street. And I knew at that time, back in April and May, that this project was going to have a negative impact on my community. And then as I was contemplating doing my run for commission and throwing my name into the hat, I realized that it affects a lot more people other than just the residents of my neighborhood. Talking to businesses up and down Vine Street, it's going to impact them greatly. It's certainly going to impact the neighborhoods off of 41st Street with the closure of Exide Road. It seems a little excessive, but hopefully there's some wiggle room where we can get some compromise and actually come up with good solutions that benefit both the citizens of the neighborhoods and the business proprietors in Hays. That wasn't the only thing, was just changing the roundabout plan. The interactions with the city, I think at that time, is what compelled me the most. When we took a petition of 200 signatures to the city leaders and anticipating they might have some positive reaction to that and possibly hearing alternate plans, we thought that was a good move forward. One that fell, unfortunately, though, on deaf ears. We were berated by some city leaders, mocked by others, and I felt those weren't the qualities of a leader that this city deserves. And I realized at that time, I've got the qualities that I think can do better than that. And if people come to me with real problems, I will earnestly listen and offer the best solution that we can work together. Looking around, I see a tremendous inavailability of recent moderate income housing. Looking at towns of other size, of other similar socioeconomic situations throughout the state, comparing us to McPherson, Atchison, Ottawa, even Topeka, even Lawrence and Manhattan, I found our affordability of housing to be dead last. Again, the criteria I was looking at was homes under 200,000 and less than 20 years old. I was shocked to find that we had only two. I think that if we're going to attract people to move to Hays, whether it be incoming businesses, headquarters, distributorship, maybe even retail, that they would want their employees to have a good availability of housing. Retail space will, I think, largely be dependent upon population and growing economy. Right now, wages, I think, are overall doing well, but probably not in accordance with inflation. And as other people on the forum the other night pointed out, we can't necessarily tell employers they need to make them pay their people more, but what we can do is attract businesses and proprietorships that can pay people on the higher end wage scale. Two, we can certainly make things more affordable for them. As I was looking around the other night, my wife and I were out, and I had a realization that many people don't have a lot of disposable income to take advantages of some of the things here in town. Sometimes we have to do things on the budget. Our household lives paycheck to paycheck, just like many people in this town. And so if we can provide better affordable housing, attract jobs that will be more fiscally rewarding in the long run, I think that people will have a better option to go out and spend money and put money back into our economy that Hayes so direly needs. Baby boomers are getting ready to come into their twilight years and aim towards retirement. Fortunately, they've lived amazing lives and they've been productive members of society, and we owe it to them to offer a town that is both attractive and meaningful for them in their retirement. How I think we could do this kind of goes back to housing as well. I mean, I'm probably 15, 20 years out from retiring myself, ideally. And in that situation, I would like a small home, perhaps one that's fairly maintenance-free in a small neighborhood. Looking at a town in New Hampshire that had a housing program where they made it a senior housing zone. They had made homes that would only be in certain price ranges, and perhaps even one that could be taken care of by a homeowners association or maintenance folks, to where they don't have to worry about maintaining the lawn, painting their house, things such as that. Other things that I think would be attractive for seniors. Immobility in my line of work as a nurse is one of the leading causes of death among the elderly. So if we can keep them engaged, provide activities, and certainly keep them going and providing meaningful input to the society in which they help develop so lovingly, I think they will do well. Methods by which I think we can do that, again, better availability of public parks, walking trails, things as such. Two, perhaps looking into expanding the senior center. Actually, there's a lot of amazing things happening in Hayes. The strategic doing is great. The Arc Park is fantastic. Grow Hayes and certainly our downtown association are doing things to develop our town, not only in arts and entertainment, but also in recreation as well. So I think overall we are looking quite attractive as a community for people to settle in either as they retire or perhaps even as they're growing in young adulthood. I think the voices of those we represent should indicate or be a good method by which we govern. If people come to me with a concern, regardless of their belief system, their background, their income level, it is equally as important as anyone else's. As I alluded to the other night in the forum, I've not always had a blessed life as far as economic background. There was some childhood, let me rewind on that. There were some challenges as an early youth with the house in which I lived in. And I can certainly understand the struggles that many go through on a daily basis, and I'm appreciative of their input. Our town is a town that is fantastic. It's amazing. And it is a town that is a regional city, that is a hub of exchange for healthcare, goods, and services for everyone in the region. What I would like to envision is a Hayes that is a jewel of the High Plains out here, so to speak, one that serves its region, and not just one or two counties away. I'm talking perhaps up to the Nebraska border, down to Great Bend. There have been a model of cities that have grown and developed and serve as a hub. Garden City is a primary one in southwest Kansas. I think we could certainly be along those lines. We have to be open to change. Some change can be good, some change can be frightening. But yet if we affect it with genuine concern given the citizens, to strategic input from the brilliant minds we have in this town, I think we can make a Hayes that is an amazing place for people to live for generations to come, and certainly be the region's largest hub for goods, services, and healthcare.